If you love the sleek look and smooth workflow of macOS but prefer the freedom, customization, and power of Linux, then you are in the right place. In 2026, the Linux ecosystem has matured to the point where several distributions not only resemble macOS visually, but also replicate its overall user experience, animations, workflow logic, and desktop behavior with impressive accuracy. Today, we are counting down the top 10 Linux distros that look and feel exactly like macOS in 2026, focusing on visual design, user experience, stability, performance, and how closely they capture the macOS vibe. Before we begin, it's important to understand that macOS-like Linux distros usually rely on desktop environments such as KDE Plasma, GNOME, or Pantheon, combined with custom themes, dock layouts, icons, and animations. Some distros are built specifically to mimic macOS out of the box, while others are highly polished general-purpose distros that ship with a macOS-inspired configuration. Let's dive into our list. First on the list is Elementary OS. Elementary OS has long been considered the gold standard when it comes to macOS-like Linux distributions, and in 2026, Elementary OS is more refined than ever. The desktop environment used by Elementary OS is Pantheon, which was designed from the ground up with a strong focus on simplicity, elegance, and consistency. When you boot into Elementary OS for the first time, you are immediately greeted with a clean desktop, a centered dock at the bottom, and a top panel that looks strikingly similar to macOS. Elementary OS feels macOS-like, not only in appearance but also in behavior. Window animations are smooth and subtle, application switching feels fluid, and multitasking is intuitive. The application launcher in Elementary OS behaves much like macOS Spotlight, allowing you to quickly search for apps, files, and settings. The system settings in Elementary OS are minimal and logically organized, resembling Apple's system settings layout. Another reason Elementary OS stands out is its tightly integrated app ecosystem. The default apps, such as Files, Mail, Calendar, Music, and Photos, follow a unified design language that mirrors Apple's native applications. This consistency gives Elementary OS a premium, polished feel that many other Linux distros struggle to achieve. In 2026, Elementary OS also emphasizes privacy and performance. It runs well on both modern and slightly older hardware, making it an excellent choice for users switching from macOS who want something lightweight but beautiful. If you want a Linux distro that feels like a carefully crafted operating system rather than a collection of components, Elementary OS is a top contender. Next up is Zorin OS. Zorin OS has become incredibly popular among users migrating from Windows and macOS, and in 2026, its macOS-inspired layout is better than ever. Zorin OS is based on Ubuntu and uses a heavily customized GNOME desktop environment. What makes Zorin OS special is its layout switcher, which allows you to choose a macOS-like interface with a single click. When you select the macOS layout in Zorin OS, you get a bottom dock, a top panel, and a clean desktop that closely resembles macOS. The icons, window controls, and animations are carefully tuned to provide a familiar experience. Zorin OS also includes macOS-style themes, cursors, and fonts right out of the box. Zorin OS feels macOS-like because of its smooth workflow. The dock behaves similarly to macOS's dock, supporting pinned apps, running app indicators, and drag-and-drop functionality. Mission control-like overview modes make multitasking easy, and keyboard shortcuts are intuitive. In 2026, Zorin OS continues to be one of the most user-friendly Linux distros available. It includes excellent hardware compatibility, strong software support, and built-in tools for running Windows and macOS-style applications through compatibility layers. For users who want a polished Mac OS experience on Linux without sacrificing flexibility, Zorin OS is an outstanding choice. Third on our list is Deepin Linux. Deepin Linux is known for its stunning visuals, and in 2026, it remains one of the most beautiful Linux distros ever created. Deepin Linux uses the Deepin desktop environment, which combines Mac OS-inspired design with its own unique flair. Deepin Linux features a bottom dock, smooth animations, translucent effects, and rounded window corners, all of which contribute to a Mac OS-like aesthetic. The control center in Deepin Linux slides in from the right side, similar to macOS's control center, providing quick access to system settings. One of the standout features of Deepin Linux is its cohesive design language. Every default application follows the same style, creating a consistent and premium experience. The file manager, music player, video player, and app store all look modern and polished. Deepin Linux in 2026 also focuses heavily on performance optimization and stability. While earlier versions sometimes faced criticism for resource usage, modern Deepin Linux runs smoothly, even on mid-range systems. If you value aesthetics and want a Linux distro that looks and feels like macOS while still offering something unique, Deepin Linux deserves serious consideration. Fourth is Garuda Linux, specifically the Garuda Linux KDE DR460nized edition. Garuda Linux is a performance-focused Arch-based distro, but its KDE DR460nized edition is one of the most visually striking macOS-like Linux experiences available. Garuda Linux KDE DR460nized uses KDE Plasma with heavy customization. The dock top panel, blurred transparency effects, and smooth animations closely resemble macOS. The overall look is modern, glossy, and visually impressive. What makes Garuda Linux special is how it combines macOS-like aesthetics with cutting-edge performance. Garuda Linux is optimized for speed, includes advanced snapshot and rollback features, and ships with the latest software. In 2026, Garuda Linux continues to attract power users who want a beautiful desktop without sacrificing performance. If you love macOS visuals but also want the bleeding-edge nature of Arch Linux, Garuda Linux KDE DR460nized is an excellent choice. Fifth on the list is Fedora Workstation with a macOS-style GNOME customization. Fedora Workstation by default uses GNOME, which already shares some design philosophy with macOS, such as minimalism and focus on workflow. With a macOS-style theme, dock, and icon set, Fedora Workstation can look remarkably similar to macOS. Many community spins and setups in 2026 provide pre-configured macOS layouts for Fedora Workstation, making it easy to achieve the look. Fedora Workstation feels macOS-like due to its smooth animations, clean interface, and strong Wayland support. It is also one of the most stable and forward-looking distros, often showcasing the latest GNOME features. If you want a macOS-like Linux experience built on a rock-solid and developer-friendly foundation, Fedora Workstation is a great option. Sixth is Ubuntu Budgie. Ubuntu Budgie uses the Budgie desktop environment, which is known for its clean and elegant design. With a macOS-style layout, Ubuntu Budgie offers a bottom dock top panel and simple desktop layout. Ubuntu Budgie in 2026 provides several layout options, including one specifically inspired by macOS. The Raven side panel in Budgie acts similarly to macOS's notification center, giving you quick access to notifications and system controls. Ubuntu Budgie benefits from Ubuntu's massive software ecosystem and hardware support. It is stable, user-friendly, and easy to customize. For users who want a lightweight macOS-like experience with Ubuntu's reliability, Ubuntu Budgie is an excellent choice. Seventh on the list is Manjaro KDE. Manjaro KDE is another Arch-based distro that offers a polished and user-friendly experience. With the right layout and theme, Manjaro KDE can look almost identical to macOS. Manjaro KDE in 2026 ships with modern KDE Plasma versions that offer smooth animations, blurred transparency, and excellent performance. The macOS-style dock and top panel layout are easy to achieve using built-in tools. Manjaro KDE is known for balancing cutting-edge software with stability. It is ideal for users who want a macOS-like look but also want access to the Arch user repository and rolling updates. Eighth is Pear OS. Pear OS was originally inspired directly by macOS, and in 2026, modern community-driven versions continue this tradition. Pear OS focuses heavily on recreating the macOS look and feel out of the box. Pear OS features a dock top panel, macOS-style icons, and window controls. The goal of Pear OS is to provide a familiar environment for macOS users switching to Linux. While Pear OS is more niche compared to other distros, it remains a strong option for those who want a macOS clone-like experience without heavy customization. Ninth is KDE Neon with macOS theming. KDE Neon is based on Ubuntu and showcases the latest KDE Plasma features. With macOS-style themes and layouts, KDE Neon becomes one of the most convincing macOS-like Linux setups. KDE Neon in 2026 benefits from constant Plasma updates, ensuring smooth animations, modern visuals, and improved performance. The flexibility of KDE Plasma allows you to fine-tune every aspect of the interface. If you love customization and want to build your own perfect macOS-like desktop, KDE Neon is an excellent foundation. Finally, 10th on the list is Arch Linux with a macOS-themed desktop. Arch Linux itself is minimal, but with the right desktop environment and theming, it can look and feel exactly like macOS. In 2026, many macOS-inspired Arch Linux setups use KDE Plasma or GNOME with custom docks, icons, and animations. The advantage of Arch Linux is complete control over your system. Arch Linux is ideal for advanced users who want to craft a macOS-like experience from scratch while maintaining full control over performance and software. To wrap things up, the Linux ecosystem in 2026 offers an incredible variety of macOS-like distributions. Whether you prefer the out-of-the-box polish of elementary OS, the flexibility of Zorin OS, the beauty of Deepin Linux, or the power user appeal of Garuda Linux, there is something for everyone. Switching from macOS to Linux no longer means sacrificing aesthetics or usability. With these top 10 Linux distros, you can enjoy the macOS look and feel while gaining the freedom and control that only Linux provides.